spectacular structures. Since May 1st, 1931, the world's greatest skyscraper has been at the corner of 34th and 5th Avenue in New York City. This is the story of the Empire State Building. By the end of the 19th century, enormous wealth was being accumulated in the United States and specifically in New York City. The society balls, the clubs, and their Fifth Avenue mansions were giving way to the new game in town, building beautiful skyscrapers. For decades, the tallest building in the United States was Trinity Church on Lower Wall Street. It all changed when Joseph Pulitzer in 1890 built his New York World Building at a height of 309 feet as the tallest office building in the world. This was quickly followed by a succession of other buildings, including Frank Woolworth's famed Woolworth Building, rising to a total of 792 feet. And it still stands today. The tallest buildings in the world changed when the architect H. Craig Severance teamed up with investment banker George Ostrom and the Starrett brothers, William and Paul, to build 40 Wall Street, soaring to 927 feet. This man, William Van Allen, along with the famed auto magnate Walter P. Chrysler, were planning a structure at 42nd and Lexington Avenue. Van Allen and Severance had been one-time partners and now bitter enemies. They had a lot more at stake in these buildings, for hidden inside the Chrysler building was a spire, which carried the ultimate height of this building to the tallest structure ever built in history, 1,046 feet, eclipsing the Eiffel Tower. Walter Chrysler's nemesis and General Motors Vice Chairman John Jacob Rascom, along with the four-time New York Governor Al Smith, hired the architectural firm of Shreve, Lamb and Harmon and put their vision in motion.
The officers and directors of Empire State Incorporated are on the roof of the old Waldorf Astoria Hotel, about to begin demolition of that ancient and historic structure.
Their timing could not have been worse. The Roaring Twenties were all about fun and frivolity. But in 1929, it all came to an end. They weren't deterred in the least. They charged ahead with their plans, bringing iron ore ingots in from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, converting it into steel beams, and 72 hours later, arriving in New York City. The steel was still warm to the touch as it rose at the rate of 1 floor a day. Revolutionary construction methods were employed in this huge building. The architects called for long metal strips to run the entire length of the building. Panels of rough-hewn Indiana limestone were placed between them. Together, these elements formed a frame, allowing the windows to be put in without scaffolding, saving hundreds of thousands of hours of labor. Rascom wisely employed Louis B. Hine to document the construction of this new building. Hine, one of the great social photographers of his time, captured many moving images, which to this day show the dignity of work in the construction of this building. May 1st, 1931.
Governor, we are on the top of the 86th floor of the Empire State Building, the highest point in the world today that can be reached from a building designed, fashioned, built by the brains, the brawn, the ingenuity, and the muscle of mankind.
The Empire State Building has been a movie star in its own right, starting in 1939 with King Kong. Superman. Sleepless in Seattle.
How about the top of the Empire State Building?
Oh, yes, that's perfect. It's the nearest thing to heaven we have in New York.
And an affair to remember. The lights atop the Empire State Building change nightly, and each night brings a new message. The different colors celebrating many of the holidays can be seen on a clear evening from as far as 80 miles away. Over 300 million people have come to the top of the Empire State Building to get a bird's eye view. Arriving at the rate of 10,000 a day, people from every nation in the world have visited the observation deck. Come join us for 70 minutes as we tell the story of this great building. The building which rose out of the ashes of the Great Depression to house hundreds of millions of people. Let us celebrate the world's greatest skyscraper, the Empire State Building.